Hi, welcome to Tuesdays with Tracy. I'm going to give it a couple minutes for people to log on and join us. Today's topic is what's the difference between home repairs and home improvements? Very frequently when I talk with sellers and homeowners, they confuse the two topics. So I just want to take a quick minute and very simply go through the difference between the two. All right, so what's the difference between home repairs and or home improvements? Because some can almost kind of be the same thing. So we'll start with repairs. Home repairs are an ongoing project. They're things that as most of you that own homes know that you're always fixing something. That's just the way it is when you own a home. So leaky pipes, leaky faucets, the water heater breaks, those are all repairs. The roof isn't working right. The wind has blown off some tiles, or we had a lot of rain one year and you discover, oh darn it, there's a leak. AC and heaters needing to be replaced or repaired because of age or use. Another big one is peeling paint and rotting wood. We run into this quite a bit with especially patio covers out here in this super hot climate. Wood gets damaged very easy if it's not protected correctly, or if it's had a lot of exposure to water and then a lot of heat. The wood just literally rots. Broken doors, broken windows, light fixtures, all these things that, these working parts of a house that break with use. The other big one is appliances. After a certain amount of time, the dishwasher stops working, the stove blows up because you use I just heard a good one the other day, that some of these newer stoves that have the self-cleaning ovens, sometimes they don't work correctly. Let's see, where are we? Appliances and flooring. The carpets get worn out after a while. Or let's say you bought your house 15 years ago and it had those small little 8x8 tiles, and just through the use of the family, they're chipped and broken, and those things just kind of get worn out after a while. And pardon me, excuse me. And other things that just break with use. Door handles, doorknobs, windows that don't slide correctly. All these things fall under the repair section. And a lot of times when I'll talk to somebody that we're getting ready to put their house on the market, they told me about all the repairs they did and why their house should be more valuable. And what I explain to people is repairs are either an ongoing process, or you pay for these repairs when you go, either by fixing them at the last minute with a kind of a high price with a contractor that has to do a rush job, or through the price of your home because a buyer isn't willing to pay you top dollar because they have to come in and do the work. So that's the repair section. Home improvements is a completely different category. Home improvements are when you put in a new pool or a spa, you go for some really snazzy landscaping and you get a lot of concrete work done or brick work done. Those are improvements to the home. The other ones are windows. A lot of times, some of the older homes out here had a single pane glass, and now with the technology of double pane and triple pane glass, people are retrofitting and upgrading their windows. A tricky one, this little bugger here causes us a lot of heartburn. Solar systems can be a wonderful improvement to your home, and unfortunately a lot of homeowners have been talked to by some of the clever companies that it will add value to their home. This is not so right now. At some point in time this may be, but when you have a solar system on your house, especially if it's leased, your buyer needs to qualify for that new lease payment. When a lender is qualifying a buyer for a home, they don't take into consideration the utility cost. That's on the buyer once they move in. When you have a lease on your home, it's an additional lien that the buyer has to qualify, and in certain price points, that actually can be the difference of a buyer being able to afford your home or not afford your home. Even though they're going to save hundreds of dollars on their utility costs, that lease could be a little bit of a challenge. So if you're thinking about doing an improvement like that, give me a call and let me know, and I can help you determine if this is something that is in your best interest. A lot of times people will outright buy a solar system, and I'm so sorry to tell you, you don't get to sell your house for more money because you have an own solar system. It doesn't unfortunately work like that. It's a lot like a pool. Just because you spent $60,000 putting the pool in doesn't mean your house has an additional $60,000 of value. Now, where you do see money come back at a pretty high return is in remodeling, assuming you don't spend to the top end of the upgrades that you're going with. Remodeled kitchens and bathrooms especially add extra value to a home. They really do. So if you're in a home where you've got good old Formica countertops and they've been there since the 70s, a smooth surface with like Corian, granite, there's some other really interesting new products that are out there that are not as expensive. That does add value to the house, and it's a clean, fresh look. However, you're not going to get your money dollar for dollar. So if you spent $50,000 remodeling your kitchen, you're not going to see $50,000 back on the sale of your home. I wanted to ask you also, which other home improvements do you think might possibly add value to your home? Go ahead and check in with us on Facebook. I'd love to hear what you're thinking about which home improvements add to it. And if you have been thinking about doing a home improvement or an upgrade, let me know about it, and I'll have some dialogue with you to let you know which way might be in your best interest. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week.